Hi dear students. So in this session, let's discuss about the steps in meiosis. The meiotic cell division was first time described by Van Beneden in 1883. Meiotic cell division occurs in germ cells of all living organisms. During meiosis, the genetic material of a diploid germ cell undergoes two nuclear divisions and resulting into four haploid daughter cells. Each daughter cell has one half of the number of chromosomes as the parent cell. There are two successive nuclear divisions in meiosis as compared to the one division found in mitosis. The two stages of meiosis are meiosis 1 and meiosis 2. Meiosis 1 is also called as the reductional division and meiosis 2 is termed as equational division. Before a dividing cell enters meiosis, it undergoes a period of growth called interphase. This is the overall process of meiosis. It includes interphase, then meiosis 1. In meiosis 1, it consists of four stages, main stages like prophase 1, metaphase 1, anaphase 1, telophase 1, and the prophase 1 is again divided into leptothene, zygotene, pachytene, diplothene, diakinesis, followed by cytokinesis, and then the meiosis 2, and it consists of prophase 2, metaphase 2, anaphase 2, telophase 2, and finally cytokinesis with the production of four daughter cells with haploid chromosome. Let's see the process step by step. The interphase just prior to the entry of cell into meiosis is known as pre-meiotic interphase. During the S phase of pre-meiotic interphase, chromosome replication takes place. In meiosis 1, separate homologous chromosomes and produce two cells with haploid chromosome, and for this reason it is known as reductional division. And meiosis 1 consists of prophase 1, metaphase 1, anaphase 1 and telophase 1. Prophase 1 is the longest in duration compared to the prophase in mitosis. It takes about 85 to 95% of the total time for meiosis and also much more complex. And the prophase 1 consists of 5 stages. It's leptothene, zygotene, pachytene, diplothene and diakinesis. The first stage of prophase 1, the leptothene or leptonema, all the chromosomes begin to condense, so they become visible as fine thread, and there is marked increase in the nuclear volume. A process of homology search, which is essential to the initial pairing of homologs, begins during this stage. The next step is the zygotene or zygonema. It begins with the initiation of pairing between homologous chromosomes and it ends with complete pairing. The process of pairing between homologous chromosomes is known as synapsis or homologous dyads. The synaptonemal complex is formed during the zygotene stage. At the completion of zygotene, the paired homologs take the form of bivalents. The number of bivalents in each species is equal to the haploid number. The pachytene is also known as pachinema, and the process of synapsis almost is complete here. The two homologs of each bivalent appears to be attached with each other at one or more points. These attachments are known as chiasmata. Crossing over is a precise breakage, swapping and reunion between two non-sister chromatids. The crossovers make new gene combinations and which are an important source of genetic variations in populations. The next stage is diplothene or diplonema. DNA recombination is complete here. The chromatids continue to shorten and thicken at the four sister chromatids in a group, and it is called a tetrad. The synaptomenal complex begins to break down in this stage. The paired chromatids begin to pull apart, causing the strands to separate longitudinally. The chiasmata tend to become terminalized as the Meiotic prophase continues. The last stage in the prophase 1 is diakinesis. The chromosomes become shorter and thicker due to condensation. Nucleolus and nuclear envelope disappear towards the end of diakinesis. The spindle apparatus become organized. The centrioles migrate away from one another. Next stage is the metaphase 1. All the bivalents migrate within a cell, migrate to metaphase plate. One homolog is pulled above the metaphase plate, the other below. The centromeres of homologous chromosome of each bivalent stretch out and on either side. The centrioles are at the opposite poles of the cell. Spindle fibers from one pole of the cell attached to one chromosome and spindle fibers from the opposite pole attached to the homologous chromosome. Next stage is the anaphase 1. Here chromosome move to the opposite poles. The microtubules and the kinetochore fibers interact, which cause the movement. A difference between mitosis and meiosis is that sister chromatids remain joined after metaphase in meiosis 1, whereas in mitosis they will separate. During anaphase 1, original chromosomes separate, so reduction in the number of chromosomes from 2n to n number, yet the sister chromatids remain together. In telophase 1, the homologous chromosome complete their migration to the two poles because of the shortening of spindles, and the nuclear envelope organized around two groups of chromosomes, and the nucleolus also reappears. And in cytokinesis, there is a formation of a cleavage furrow resulting in the pocketing of the cells into two different cells. At the end of telophase 1 and cytokinesis, two daughter cells are produced, each with 1/2 of the number of chromosomes. That is haploid set of replicated chromosomes of the original parent cell. Interkinesis or interphase 2 is similar to the interphase that was previously discussed. Meiosis 2 is the second part of the meiotic process. The meiosis 2 consists prophase 2, metaphase 2, anaphase 2 and telophase 2. In prophase 2, each diad is composed of a pair of sister chromatids attached by a common centromere. And in metaphase 2, the centromeres are positioned at the equatorial plane. And anaphase 2, the centromeres will divide and the sister chromatids of each diad are pulled to the opposite poles. And in telophase 2, one member of each pair of the homologous chromosome are present in each pole, and each chromosome is referred as monad because it's a combination of maternal and paternal genetic information. The nuclei reform around the chromosomes at the poles and following cytokinesis, and finally 4 haploid gametes result from a single meiotic event. Let's see a few of the functions of meiosis. First one is the production of haploid gametes so that fertilization restores the normal somatic chromosome number. Then the production of tremendous amount of genetic variation, and also the segregation of the 2 alleles of each gene, and this takes place due to pairing between the 2 homologous of each chromosome and their separation at the first anaphase. It brings about recombination between linked genes due to crossing over, and it also facilitates segregation and independent assortment of chromosomes and genes. In sexually reproducing species, meiosis is essential for the continuity of generation because meiosis results in the formation of male and female gametes, and union of such gametes lead to the development of zygotes and thereby new individuals. We have already discussed about the difference between the mitosis and meiosis in the previous session. Gametogenesis is the process of production of haploid sex cells. Gametes have 1/2 the genetic material from the germ cell of each parent. Fusion of spermatozoa and ova at time of fertilization results in a zygote with a diploid genome. The process of production of spermatozoa is called spermatogenesis, and the process of production of ovum is termed oogenesis. Spermatogenesis is the process of producing sperm cell in the male reproductive organs through a sequence of cell division and a metamorphic change to produce spermatozoa. The differentiation of the spermatids into sperm cell is called spermiogenesis. Large spherical non-motile spermatid is metamorphosed into a small elongated motile sperm. Oogenesis is the process of meiosis in female organism from an oogonium to a primary oocyte, and from primary oocyte to a secondary oocyte, and then to an ovum. The gamete formed by oogenesis contain a haploid nucleus, and the oogenesis also builds up a store of cytoplasmic enzymes, mRNAs, organelles, and metabolic substrates. During the first division of oogenic meiosis, unequal cytokinesis take place and result in one of the two daughter cells containing hardly any cytoplasm, whereas the other cell has nearly the entire volume of cellular constituents. The smaller cell is called the first polar body and the larger cell is called as the secondary oocyte. During the second division of meiosis, a similar unequal cytokinesis take place in secondary oocyte and result in one large ovum and a small cell. The polar bodies receive the same chromosome complement as the secondary oocyte and ovum, but are not functional sex cells because of accumulation of nutrient materials. An egg is usually much larger than a sperm of the same species. And in this you can see the production of ovum and spermatozoa by oogenesis and spermatogenesis mechanism.